On today's Try to Finish Something, I hope you've had a chance to check out Praise Kelechi and his social media. He's on Facebook, he's on Instagram. I talked about him in the last episode, and this kid is a maker out of Nigeria. He does cosplay, he does props, and all kinds of stuff, and I wanted to show you some of his work that I pulled off of Facebook and Instagram. Look at the stuff that this kid puts together with literally no supplies. It's just cardboard and paint. And I think it would be really neat if we as a community could band together and sponsor this young artist and see where he could really go, given the talent he has, and give him the supplies that a lot of us have access to. And I've set up a GoFundMe account, and you can donate to Praise Kelechi Maker Fund on GoFundMe. Details are in the video description. If you get a chance, make a donation, and I think it'd be really neat to surprise this kid and see what he could do. A maker out of Nigeria, sponsored by us, and I think that would be really neat. So on today's Try to Finish Something, I've got a Gonk that keeps talking to me over in the corner. I built it in just 2.5 hours, and it needs some upgrades. Upgrades on that Gonk? That's what I'm gonna do on today's Try to Finish Something. So here is where we last left Gonky. Gonkadunk. I don't know. It needs a name. It was a time to build, and I had things I didn't get a chance to do that are now screaming to get done as it sits mocking me in the corner, especially this side over here. Blank. No panels. Zip. But I don't want to just stick on a bunch of greeblies. I'm trying to improve my skills, and I have some amazing tools, and I want to force myself to learn how to actually use them. I have these metal bottles, actually a case of them from the company that I used to own, and I'd like to create some acrylic receptors for 2 bottles to sit in and capture. My thought is this old Imperial Gonk droid was taken by Jawas and sold to this spaceport and is now being repurposed to do hangar-related tasks. I have a fuel and power pipe already on the wall, so maybe cooling fluid and hydraulic fluid in 2 bottles Gonkatitis can deliver. Still needs a name. This could be some sort of aftermarket bolt-on to hold these deliverables. Remember, I like stories behind my builds. I designed these and cut these out on the Glowforge, but I didn't account for holes for screws. I'm going to just drill them out because it looks like I know what I'm doing, this holder that I cut for the bottles, but it's my 8th attempt, and I don't want to cut another just for screw holes. A drill will work just fine. When I did the time build, someone in the group who works in the film industry said, technically, I would be allotted more time in my 2.5-hour build for on-set last looks. Let's just call this whole episode Last Looks. I have mentioned I watch a lot of YouTube, and one of the channels I watch is Toy Poloi, and he's always building things and repairing things out of plastic, and he uses plastic weld that, welds plastic surfaces together. It causes a chemical reaction and melts the 2 surfaces, and I thought I would give it a try. For the top and the bottom, I created 2 levels to capture the bottle. On the bottom, a base and a guide, and on the top, a guide and the neck holder. This is the guide part upside down. I have 2 horizontal supports for strength. Attach those and then flip over and add the base. This glue stuff works great. Let's try it out so you can get the idea what I'm actually doing. See how I put the Imperial logo on there? This is the old branding for this droid. I thought it was a detail that helped with the story. One of the things that caused so many reprints is I had to account for these ridges on the container, and I had to notch out my capture to fit around them. The top was easy. Now to mark out where I need it, drill holes and attach. Now, before I do the top one, it will lock up the bottles, so I'm going to spray paint the bottles first. Since the stickers I made with Ado Morin of Fabworks, link in the video description, had colors, I will use the same color scheme on the bottles. I will do one bottle yellow for the hydraulic fluid and the blue one for coolant. I spray painted a bit of weathering at the bottom of each of them, and I will expand on that later. Capture the tops and Allen screw those in. Now for the weathering. My idea is the hydraulic fluid is oily, and when it drips it catches the dirt and creates greasy, dirty drips on the yellow side, so that will be more browns and rusty. The coolant is more of an aqua blue color, and when it drips, it shows the color of the liquid. I know, I have issues. I've told you this before. Way more thought into this than anyone needs to put into it. I have to have a story behind the prop. Most of this no one will ever see. I am also painting where the fluid would accumulate on the guide, and I will scratch up and damage the canisters and weather the holder as well. Now, I need some greeblies on the actual bracket because this has to serve a purpose. My thought is, since this was an aftermarket after Empire job improvement for usability, it had to tap into the external power board of my Gonk to supply power to the container delivery system. So I'm adding some greeblies that will get wires connected to power this system. The only place for external power is the Gonk face circuit board, so I'll use these wire keepers and wire directly to his face and weather. So Ado's stickers, I printed them on photo paper and spraying them with clear matte spray to seal the ink. I will cut them out and spray the back with spray glue and attach. So here is what I have, the branding of what the droid did in its past life. It was in Launch Bay 7 Panel 3, and it was there to supply power in case of an emergency. And the sticker on top addresses that. This one on the side is an image from Galaxy's Edge on a power generator, so that seems fitting and canon. Now for the bottles. I don't want to line these stickers up. That would seem too perfect. Even though you might not see them, if I don't line them up, it will look more real to offset them. All right, I have one more, an Imperial sticker that I will add down under the face, and you can't see what I'm doing at all. All right, back inside, it's weathering time. First, the branding on the top where the Gonk was assigned. Then the sticker I rudely didn't show you. Now the bottles. I realize there's probably a high percentage of you that are frightened by my level of obsessive detail. Be afraid, but be glad you don't actually live with me. All right, now to the Galaxy's Edge power generator weathering. Now, I purposefully didn't cover this seam because I want to use this Gonk for storage, but I wanted to add some detail that will make it look more like the seams were supposed to be there, so I made these tabs on the Glowforge. This time, I was smart enough to include screw holes. See, I'm learning. They have the Imperial logo and attach them with Allen screws and to weather them. I also made one more for the middle that has that same location assignment badge that I had up here to tie it all in. Now, a video walkthrough, and I'm spraying some atmosphere aerosol to give you a full effect. Dear God, I really do need help. I'm starting to frighten myself. So what do you think of the upgrades? I really hope you're enjoying my madness and subscribe to the channel, but I am officially calling Gonkadonk finished. Wait, one more. This is how I plan on using it as storage. I might have to make a custom insert for this. Ugh. I said I was finished, but am I? Now, please enjoy some glamour shots and close-ups. I get quite a few requests for detail close-ups just to, I don't know, see how obsessive I am about this stuff, so here you go. I'm sure this footage will be used against me when I'm committed. Look how insane this guy was. This wasn't even used for anything. I'm off on a tangent again. Where was I? Oh yeah. If you enjoyed this stroll through my OCD, please tell a friend and subscribe to the channel. And as always, if you didn't, just keep it to yourself. And we'll see you next time as we try to finish something.